The public reception was often harsh. Meghan's Netflix show, which premiered in March and featured crafting, cooking, and musings on joy, was panned by critics in both the UK and US as inane, cringy, and forced. Its performance was equally lackluster, with the first season ranking a dismal 383 in Netflix's first-half rankings, while Harry's polo documentary, Polo, languished at 3,436. A holiday special in December failed to crack the platform's top 10, casting serious doubt on the show's future. Similarly, Meghan's podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, failed to make a cultural dent, with one commentator noting they cannot for the life of me remember a thing about it. Financially, the picture was mixed but troubling. While their initial as-ever product drop sold out in under an hour, by Christmas the brand was resorting to Black Friday discounts and free shipping promotions, suggesting a need to clear inventory. More critically, they operate under immense financial pressure. A reported $14 million mortgage on their Montecito home, a multi-million-dollar annual security bill, and a taste for luxury brands and private jets. Their much-touted $100 million Netflix deal was reportedly renewed in August 2025 for a significantly reduced sum with less commitment, indicating the platform's cooled expectations. This context of high overhead and uncertain revenue streams made the stability of their core organization, Archewell, more crucial than ever, a stability that completely vanished as the year ended.
In late December 2025, news broke that signaled a potential existential crisis for the Sussex operation. James Holt, the executive director of Archewell Foundation and the couple's longest-serving staffer, announced his departure to return to London. Holt was not just an employee, he was a linchpin figure, overseeing their philanthropic endeavors for nearly a decade. His exit followed a wave of senior departures, including former staffers Genevieve Roth, Christine Schirmer, and Ashley Hansen. The situation inside Archewell was revealed to be far more dire than a simple staff change. Sources described an organization in free-fall collapse. They've essentially shuttered Archewell, one source bluntly told Page Six. The foundation, recently rebranded as Archewell Philanthropies, was reportedly down to just Holt and Vice President Shauna Knepp, and Knepp was working only on a consultant basis, not as a full-time employee. An industry source estimated the couple had decreased their overall staff by 85% from a year earlier.
This mass exodus points to profound internal dysfunction. Commentators like Rupert Bell suggest the constant churn, particularly in communications roles, mirrors a resistance to outside counsel. He posited they'd like people who've been around some time, but Marco thinks she knows best, and that's part of the problem. The couple has cycled through at least 11 publicists in 5 years, a pattern industry observers see as blaming the messenger for bad news, rather than addressing its root cause. With their philanthropic arm gutted and their production staff dependent on the renewal of Meghan's struggling Netflix show, the structural underpinnings of Sussex Inc. appear alarmingly fragile.
While Meghan maintained a relentless, if rocky, public hustle, 2025 was the year Prince Harry largely vanished from the spotlight. Described as receding back into the Montecito hedge like the Homer Simpson meme, he became a peripheral figure in his own story, embodying a kind of aimless royal exile. His appearances were largely confined to established safe zones, supporting veterans at the Invictus Games or on a trip to Ukraine. In between, he seemed to lack a clear professional direction, a stark contrast to his former life of military service and royal duty. This drift was punctuated by significant personal and legal missteps that further damaged his standing. In May, he gave a disastrous interview to the BBC where he said, "I don't know how much longer my father has," a comment widely seen as insensitive and exploitative. This came just as a potential thaw with the royal family seemed possible. Senior staffers had met with the king's team, and Harry was invited for tea at Clarence's house in September. However, Harry reportedly made a misplaced accusation that the king's aides had leaked details of their meeting, causing the reconciliation effort to founder. The two have not spoken since. Legally, he faced a mixed bag. He lost a high court battle over taxpayer-funded UK security in May, though he secured a new risk assessment in December that could see it reinstated. Professionally, he seemed reduced to giving reportedly paid speeches to groups like Canadian real estate agents, a far cry from the global stages he once commanded. The portrait that emerged in 2025 was of a man untethered and reactive, struggling to define a purpose outside the institution he left, and seemingly undermining his own stated goal of healing familial rifts.
In stark contrast to Harry's retreat, Meghan operated in 2025 as a full-time CEO of her own brand, a role marked by relentless activity and frequent controversy. Her approach was multifaceted, juggling commerce, content, and public image, but each avenue encountered significant headwinds. Her business venture, the lifestyle brand As Ever, a reboot of the short-lived American Riviera Orchard, showed early promise with rapid sellouts. However, the year-end discounting hinted at challenges in sustaining momentum. Her content creation faced harsher scrutiny. Beyond the poor performance of With Love Meghan, she was the subject of damaging investigative reports. Vanity Fair published an exposé citing sources who described her treatment of staff as really awful, with claims that staffers quit or underwent long-term therapy after working with Meghan. Another report called her a tyrant in high heels. This portrayal of a difficult boss directly contradicted her public advocacy for women in wellness, creating a credibility gap. Her public persona became a study in contradictions. She shared carefully curated family moments on Instagram, amassing 4.2 million followers, but also posted an eye-popping video of her twerking in her hospital room before giving birth. While aiming for relatable authenticity, such acts often played as awkward and out of touch with the dignified heritage of the title she still uses. Experts note that her commercial ambitions conflict with Harry's desire to rebuild royal bridges, and that as long as she uses her title for business, the royal family will keep their distance. This tension lies at the heart of their dilemma. Meghan's attempt to build a commercial empire leveraging royal status inevitably perpetuates the very rift that causes Harry anguish. Faced with underperforming projects and a crumbling foundation, the Sussexes appear to be placing a monumental, high-risk bet on their most valuable remaining asset, their intimate connection to the legacy of Princess Diana. Reports indicate they are actively developing a major Netflix film about Harry's mother, with Meghan intensely hands-on and seeking a directorial role. Netflix, despite setbacks with the couple's previous work, is reportedly banking on this project's blockbuster potential, believing it has the depth and emotion to rival their Oprah interview. One executive source called it the crown jewel and the one project that could make the entire deal worth it. This project represents the ultimate blending of their personal narrative with commercial content, but it is fraught with peril. The ethical and emotional calculus is complex. While Harry has every right to tell his mother's story, commercializing it through a Netflix film produced by his wife could be seen as exploiting familial trauma. It risks a severe backlash from the public and could incinerate any remaining goodwill within the royal family, for whom Diana's memory remains profoundly sensitive. Furthermore, if this film were to fail commercially or critically, it would represent not just a professional defeat, but a deeply personal one. It is a gamble that could redefine them or ruin them. As 2025 closes, the Sussexes stand at a precarious crossroads. The creative divorce predicted by some, where they pursue independent professional paths, seems more plausible than ever. Harry's yearning for royal reconnection and Meghan's strive for entrepreneurial independence are on a collision course. Their brand, built on a union of star-crossed lovers, now risks fracturing under the weight of contradictory goals. Several paths lie before them. The complete pivot, abandoning commercial entertainment for uncontroversial philanthropy and advocacy, akin to Meghan's early work with UN Women. This would require massive financial downsizing. The professional separation, operating as separate entities, Harry focusing on Invictus and veteran causes, Meghan building her lifestyle empire, while maintaining a personal union. This could reduce brand tension but dilute their combined market power. The royal reconciliation partial, a long-shot scenario where Harry, possibly alone, mends fences with the institution, securing a semi-official role and UK security, while Meghan remains in the US. This would be the most dramatic reset of all. Has dulled, and they have yet to establish a definitive, weighty achievement in their post-palace life. They remain defined by the act of leaving, not by what they have built since.
As they move forward, whether with a Diana film, separate ventures, or a surprising reconciliation, 2026 must be the year they finally answer that question. The latest move has changed everything by exposing the fragility of their current model. The next move will determine if there is anything lasting left to build.
The year 2025 was meant to be a watershed moment for Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. After several years of navigating their post-royal existence, this was the year of their strategic relaunch, a concerted effort to reshape their public personas from disgruntled former royals into influential global figures and successful entrepreneurs. Meghan's Instagram account, launched at the start of the year, fired the starting gun on what was billed as a bumper mega year, a butterfly moment for the Duchess to transform from wronged royal into an entrepreneurial wonder Duchess.
Yet, as the year draws to a close, the narrative has skidded into unexpectedly turbulent territory. Instead of triumph, the year has been marked by a series of public stumbles, professional misfires, and internal collapses. The couple now faces questions not just about their career choices, but about the very foundation of their brand and their future direction. Their latest move, a dramatic scaling back of their charitable foundation and a risky gamble on a Princess Diana film, has fundamentally altered their trajectory, changing everything for the Sussexes. This is a deep dive into a year of crisis, analyzing the missteps, the money, and what might lie ahead for the world's most scrutinized couple.
The vision for 2025 was clear: a multi-platform assault on public perception. Meghan would lead with her relaunched lifestyle brand, As Ever, and a new Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, designed to showcase her as a modern homemaker and entertainer. Behind the scenes, their organization, Archwell, would solidify their philanthropic and production work. However, the gap between ambition and execution proved vast, revealing a stark contradiction between their curated public image and an internal reality of turmoil.